Have you ever felt like you're doing all the right things, but something about your success doesn't feel like you anymore? You're still showing up, you're still performing, you're still leading, but it's like you've outgrown this version of you who built all of it. And let's be honest, that can feel scary, confusing, and even a little bit lonely, right? But you're not breaking down. You're evolving. Hey, beautiful human, it's me, Rebecca Wiener McGregor, and welcome to another episode of Effective Immediately, the show where we talk about mindset, leadership, emotional intelligence, and the subconscious shifts that help you have it all. So today we're talking about something that high-achieving women eventually face, and this might be a place where you are right now. So just take it all in and see how you're doing with it, okay? And it's what happens when we outgrow the version of us that built the success, right? I started my business 21 years ago, and that is a very different version than who I am right now and who I was even 5 years ago and even 2 years ago. So you can feel the symptoms of this before you can name them, right? You might start feeling like you're craving more space. You're craving more simplicity because often we make very complicated systems for ourselves when we're starting. Maybe more meaning, but your current way of doing the things doesn't quite fit you anymore. You find yourself procrastinating doing the things that you used to love doing. And maybe you feel torn between that feeling of gratitude. I should feel really grateful for this, but you really feel restless instead. And you catch yourself saying things like, I should be happier. I should be happy. I should feel happier. Maybe you've thought it to yourself and haven't even been able to say it out loud because you don't want to seem ungrateful, right? You don't want to seem like you're not proud or happy with where you are, but the truth is it doesn't quite fit anymore. It's a bit confusing, right? It doesn't mean that anything's wrong. It means that you've expanded and your old success identity hasn't really caught up to who you are or where you are yet. And that's okay. This version of you that built this chapter had different fears. She had different needs. She had different boundaries. And she did a beautiful job. But now she's not in charge anymore. So let's talk about the subconscious mind for a moment, because as you hear me say all the time, because we need this reminder, your subconscious mind, number one job is to keep you safe, not happy. It doesn't care. You hear me say all the time, so you remember, it doesn't give a flying fig about your happiness. It cares about your safety. So when you reach a new level, whether it's your revenue or your visibility or even a new level of peace, your subconscious mind says, hey, wait a minute. We've never done this before. This feels like dangerous territory because it's not familiar. And that's why you might be feeling resistance, self-doubt, anxiety. And it's not because you're broken. It's not because you're lacking discipline. It's not because you're not thinking the way that you need to be thinking. It's that your subconscious mind is trying to pull you back to what it knows. It's always going to try to pull you back to what it knows if it doesn't feel safe to move forward. But here's the best part, my favorite part, is that safety and success can coexist. You don't have to choose one or the other. But your subconscious mind, she might make you think like you have to choose, right? And she might not even give you the opportunity to choose. She might just send you into freeze. So you don't make any steps, don't take any steps, right? But you'll notice what we're talking about today is really this incongruence. You love your work, you love your mission, you love your clients, things are different. You love all of that, but it doesn't quite feel as wonderful as it did when you began. And the part of you that is watching over all this just needs to learn how to feel safe with the next level. And that's the kind of work that I do with my clients, helping them to expand their emotional and energetic capacity to receive, to hold more wealth, to hold more impact, to let things be easier, to take things from that super complicated way that we started doing things, but it just was the way that we knew how to do it at that time. And that's the way that your identity could hold it at the time, right? Sometimes when we start our business and we start a mission, we have to do it in a way that our body can handle. So maybe your subconscious mind, much like mine did when I started my business, liked to have things complicated because then it felt valuable and meaningful. But my identity stopped matching that because I needed things to be simple, because I needed that energy and that bandwidth to go deeper with my clients, to do more, to have more impact. So it stopped matching my identity. So how is that landing for you? What's coming in here for you? Just pause and think about that. Collect the data, right? Because you can expand your emotional and energetic capacity to hold more wealth, make more money, have it be so much easier and simpler than it was before without your nervous system going into overdrive, without your subconscious mind sending up the alarms saying, no, you can't do that. No, this isn't the way. So how do you move through this identity upgrade? I'm thinking of Beyonce upgrading in the background here. The most powerful shift that you can make today is to thank the version of you that got you here. And this isn't like, well, I'll just thank her so it'll be okay and I'll just do my job. I want you to really thank her. Think of all the things that your body, your mind, your subconscious has brought you through. All the people you've met, all the experiences that you've had, all the wisdom that you've gained, all that your subconscious mind has allowed you to be up to this point. When I think about that, I can get really emotional and I can easily flood my eyes as I'm flooding my mind with all the ways that my subconscious mind, my spirit worked together to get me to where I am. The people that I was introduced to and how they found other people to introduce me to and how my business expanded and who I was at that time and who I've evolved into. There's a ton of gratitude. Even when I was starting out, I could see these patterns and I would pay attention to this is how I got here because it felt so good. And my body and mind appreciated that feeling of being thanked. It felt safe. And that allowed me to help that protector part of my mind, that driver part of my mind, that builder part of my mind to relax a little bit so I could say, okay, I've got it from here. Let's take the next step. Let's get stronger. Let's go deeper. Let's try things that we've never done before. Let's have people with really complex things come in and let's change their life. I wanted to be known as the person who could handle the really hard stuff with people, and that's what I built my career on. That decision to thank myself, to be grateful for my wisdom, and to be grateful for the ability to stretch into what else is possible with my modality. My mechanism, of course, is hypnosis, mindset work. And what is yours? Coaching, energy, whatever your protocol, whatever your mechanisms are that you use. Maybe you're a physician, maybe you're a veterinarian. Maybe the way you talk to people as an attorney is the healing that you share with the world. And as you thank that previous version of you, the previous versions of you that you've been, you can relax into yourself and see, okay, there's a lot of recognition here of who I was. and who I've become, and recognition of the wisdom helps to improve your confidence immediately. That's why I love this step so much, because you didn't just start today, right? Even if you had to start over today, you would not be starting from scratch. You would be starting from all of this beautiful wisdom that you've gained throughout your life and throughout your career. And the next thing to do, the next thing that I would recommend is redefine what leadership looks like for you in this season. Ask yourself, what do I want leadership to feel like now? This, once again, is why it's so important to not overpack your schedule, so you can actually take a few moments and have conversations like this with yourself. What does leadership feel like to me now? Because who you're going to lead with, how you're going to lead now, and who you're becoming will come from a place of clarity, not a place of trying to control, not a place of trying to build something from scratch, right? So how does your leadership get to feel now? And you get to decide. You get to choose. Not just wait for it to come to you, but you get to decide, I want my leadership to feel clear. I want to feel calm. I want to have a relaxed schedule. I want to have space to go deep with clients. I want to make X number of dollars per month. I want to work with these kinds of clients. And this is how I want to feel doing it. These are the characteristics of the clients that I want to have, and this is how I want to lead them. These are things that you can powerfully consider and begin to shift right away. And the third thing is to normalize things being easy. Yeah, I'm going to say that again. Normalize things being easy. If you've built things from grit, if you had trauma in your childhood, trauma in your life, which nobody really escapes. It doesn't have to be newsworthy trauma, but just those moments where something in you, your subconscious mind told you, okay, this is how we need to perform in order to be worthy. This is how we need to perform in order to be loved. This is how we need to show up in order to be protected. This is what we need to do in order to feel safe and to be part of the family or community or to be valued. So I want you to write this down. It is safe for me to lead with ease. It is safe for me to lead with ease. And repeat it until it lands in your body. And when I say repeat it, use your vocal cords. Use your voice. Reading something over and over does not have the same impact. When you hear your own voice speaking powerful words, you can start to reprogram your thinking, reprogram your subconscious mind. So I want you to repeat it sometimes 30 times. If you see an affirmation that you love, you're scrolling TikTok University or you're flipping through things on, different affirmations and stuff like that on Instagram or wherever, Pinterest you're hanging out, wherever you're hanging out. You see an affirmation that feels good to you, an idea that feels good to you, you see a powerful set of words. Don't just read them. Don't just save them for later. Don't just screenshot it. How many screenshots of stuff like that do you have on your phone right now? Say the words over and over, 30 times. Say them with power. Say them with your inner leadership and notice what happens in your body. You will feel a physical shift, but you have to be active with it. You can't just look at that little affirmation screenshot that you made every day and expect it to change you. You have to connect with it. And by using your voice is a really powerful way to do that. Okay, so let me give you an example. One of my Limitless Leader clients hit this exact wall where she was like, this should be easier. It should be more fun. It should feel better. And she had scaled past 200K in her business, but behind the scenes, she was exhausted and in this place of doubt about every single thing that she built. She didn't really like it anymore. She didn't like the way it felt. It felt complicated and kind of pieced together. But it gave her a result, right? She got to her 100K. She got over 200K. She was making money that was giving her some more freedom. But it felt off inside. And when we started working together, she started running her business through the fiber of her old identity. The one who built everything from survival. And we rewired her subconscious patterns, rebuilt her boundaries so that within months, her entire energy changed. I'll remember she had a result that very first day, and how over time, a very short amount of time, I watched her shift into being happier, lighter, excited, and really feeling passionate about her gifts again, passionate and connected to her wisdom. And she stopped apologizing for wanting more. I met someone yesterday who said, I asked her how much she wants to make in her business, and she said, oh, Rebecca, I believe like you that women should have gobs and gobs of money, tons of money, so they can do whatever they want. They can help their communities, they can do whatever. Those are some of the things that I love to think about. But that they can do the things they want, travel and feel good about themselves and take care of themselves the way they want to. And so this client of mine stopped apologizing for wanting all that. She raised her prices, which actually gave her clients who were willing to do the work and go deep and actually valued the work more. Pricing is something that we've talked about quite a bit other times, and we can talk about that again. And she delegated from a place of trust, not a place of control. And then she started waking up excited again, excited to get in her business, excited to take it to the next new level, excited to see what this change in herself and how she viewed herself would bring to her business, would bring to her clients, and what kind of things she would create. She didn't need a new strategy. In fact, she had wrung herself out trying to learn so many new strategies, but it wasn't a strategy problem. Most of the time, when you reach this level, when you get to 100K and you want to get higher, you want to expand your business, it's not a strategy thing because you've learned a ton of strategies already. It's an identity issue. It's how you see yourself and the role that you play in your business. So if this resonates, please hear me out. You are not broken. You have not messed up. You do not lack discipline. You do not have an issue with your thinking. You're just evolving. You're evolving into the next level leader that you want to be. The next version of you is coming through just like it always has been since you were a little girl. You've simply outgrown that old version of yourself, and it's a sign of growth, not a sign of failure. Okay? Growth, not failure. Growth, not a personality flaw. Growth and change and wisdom rather than something being wrong. Okay? And if you're ready to expand into that next level identity, you know where to find me. The one who leads, you can be the one who leads from calm, confidence, and true capacity. The ability to receive more. The ability to allow more into your life in different ways. And that's exactly what we do inside Limitless Leader. So that's my 12-month private mentorship where we rewire your subconscious mind for expansion. We do the beautiful emotional regulation so that you can release those little strands of anxiety, depression, frustration, resentment that have likely built through your life because you're a human, just like the rest of us. And then you can step into that magnetic leadership that allows you to have success that looks as good on the outside as it feels on the inside. So wherever you see this video, there's a way to get in touch with me. So please feel free to reach out, connect with me for Limitless Leader, connect with me for a call and see what is the best path for you. I'm here. I've got you. I'm ready to lock arms with you. So hand on heart, give yourself a breath. think about what's next for you. And let's say that affirmation. It is safe for me to lead with ease. It is safe for me to lead with ease. It is safe for me to lead with ease. It is safe for me to lead with ease. It is safe for me to lead with ease. Keep saying it. Notice what happens in your body. Reach out and let's talk about it. And until I see you next time, take good care of yourself and have a beautiful week. Bye for now.